Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Learn with Virali. I'm Virali, your guide for this coding adventure. In this video, we are going to go ahead and understand how to create hyperlinks in HTML. So let's get started. So in order for us to create a hyperlink, firstly I'm going to go ahead and create a blueprint of our HTML document. So I'm just going to go ahead, put up this exclamation mark, press enter, and there we go. We have our blueprint ready. So I'm going to go ahead and modify this small detail here to give a proper title, as in this is for the hyperlinks. Now, in order for us to create hyperlinks in HTML, we use something called as an A tag. A tag is also called as an anchor tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and write a comment here, as in A tag is also referred to as an anchor tag and is used to create hyperlinks in HTML. Alright, so now that we have everything in place, I'm just gonna go ahead and write another parameter here, which is supposed to be written within an A tag as an href, which is the address onto which this particular link should go if you click on it. So let's say if I'm doing this for going on to Google's page or Google search engine page, I'm going to write it as https://www.google.com and then slash, and here in the content I'm going to go ahead and write down Google. Now if I'm going to go ahead and save this, let us check it out. How does it look like in the browser? So let us go here and understand or see how does it look like. Okay, so if you can notice here, this is how it looks like. If I click on this, it is definitely going to open up the Google's search engine page. Now there is a twist, a little bit twist here, that we are going to go ahead and look into our code back. Coming back to our code, there is another parameter that we can specify onto how we want to open up this target Google search engine page. So I'm just going to go ahead, press enter, and if you can see here, we have 4 different options, as in blank, parent, self, and top. Now self is gonna be by default, so that's where it opens up in the same window, whereas if you look at the blank page, blank target, it is gonna open up in a new window totally. And if you look at the parent, again the target is gonna be opening up in a parent frame. And if we can go ahead and select target as top, it is gonna open up on the top of our web page. So let us go ahead and select those one by one to see the difference. So first, let us go ahead with the default option that we have and name this as Google Self. Save this, go back onto our target screen, and there we go. Okay, so now when I go ahead and click this one, this is what it shows me. So which is again another Google search engine page, but it is opening up, changing the same window in which we were seeing Google Self. Now let us go ahead and change the target to see other target option, which is blank. So let me just go ahead and change this as blank and change this as blank as well. Okay, save. So now let me just go ahead onto my output screen to see any difference that I can see here. There we go. So if I click on Google blank, if you notice, it opens up in the next tab and not in the same tab. So blank is something which is opened up in a new tab and not modifying the original tab that it was opened in. Okay, now let us see another option that we have for target. So we saw self, now we saw blank, and now let's take a look onto parent. gonna modify this to parent as well, and then save. Let us go back onto our screen, refresh the code, and we have Google Parent. So now when I click on this one, it again modifies the page that it was opened in. So that's again pretty similar to what was happening with the self. Now let's go back and look at the last option that we have, which is gonna go ahead and understand or make us understand how top option for target works. So okay, let us give it as a top and then give the top here as well. I'm gonna save this, go back to our output screen, and let's go ahead and refresh it up. So now we have Google Top. When I click on Google Top, again, it is pretty similar to what was happening with the self. So that's where I can go ahead and understand that if I use target as a blank, it helps me to open up in a new tab and not modify the same tab again. I hope you got some meaningful insight out of this video, and in the next video, we are going to understand how to create images in HTML. So stay tuned, and until then, happy coding.